You know, I'm not much of a Christian, but I'm still waiting on the Bible too. When is it coming out? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to the Talking to James channel. Now, today, I haven't posted a Suicide Squad video in a little while. I probably should be focusing on other things, but today let's talk about something interesting, something that piqued my eye. Piqued my eye? Yeah, let's go with that. There's this video that popped up in my recommended called Huge Suicide Kill the Justice League Leak by Iron Smash Web. Obviously, I went through it and I thought it was interesting. There's a lot of things worth talking about, some things that maybe end up be true, some of it's not. I think a majority of it isn't. And yeah, we'll talk about that. So finally, with a new mic and all, I thought I'd go over these real quick. So the first one is that sure, we have the main four characters, which is King Shark, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and of course Captain Boomerang. How can we forget any of them? Because we've been seeing them throughout the trailers. However, this leak shows something different. In fact, it says that the other four characters are Deathstroke, Cheetah, Count Vertigo, and Enchantress. Now, don't get me wrong, some of these do seem viable. I think that Deathstroke in particular is one that makes the most amount of sense, considering that he was teased back in Arkham Origins, so it makes sense for him to pop up in the Suicide Squad. Cheetah, maybe. I don't see how that work. Count Vertigo, definitely not, and Enchantress, probably not. I think that Deathstroke is the only one that's the most probable. So, let's go over something like worth actually talking about. Is the simple fact is that I think 4 characters is already a lot of characters. I think they agree with this. I think that most people agree with this, that 4 characters is a lot. And apparently there's going to be customization between each character. So adding another 4 characters, let alone adding another 4 characters in the story, it just seems completely improbable. However, I do think that they may have these characters for DLC, but some of these characters don't seem likely. Like Cheetah and Count Vertigo, that one doesn't make sense to me. Cheetah hasn't really been in the Suicide Squad as often, and Count Vertigo same as well. There's only a very few rare sources of media where they're actually in the Suicide Squad. They're not as popular, and of course, my biggest reason for this is because of the Suicide Squad movie. If things were to follow as we know from this game, there's a lot taken from the Suicide Squad movie and the new one that came out. They're more likely to take influences from that than random comic characters. So that's why I think Cheetah and Count Vertigo are unlikely. And Enchantress may seem as a possibility considering she was in the first Suicide Squad movie, so maybe I'll take that one. So, in terms of gameplay-wise, I think Deathstroke would probably be the most probable, yet again. I think that he is a probable character that they might be holding off towards the end of the game, but Count Vertigo? My ginger, Count Vertigo? His whole idea, like, in terms of powers is just, like, stunning people. I think that would be very overused if he were to be a playable character. It just wouldn't make any sense. So Count Vertigo is a definitely not. Cheetah's versatile of, abilities such as like climbing up walls and like using her agility to her advantage. That one seems probable. I could see her. Maybe they might attach her with a gun, considering every character in here has a gun. She would have to have one too, but I've never seen Cheetah ever use a gun. But anyway, Enchantress is like, apparently in this leak they also mentioned that like Enchantress can like control other enemies, which I think would be interesting, but I don't know. So one of the reasons why I don't think that these playable characters are in the game is because it's far too ambitious. I think, and this is something that's a core theme throughout this whole leak, is that everything about this whole leak just seems way too good to be true. Like, come on, 8 playable characters, 2 other Justice League members that I haven't talked about just yet, and the online versus mode. It's just not possible. So let's go over some of the new Justice League members. These ones actually seem pretty viable, which is Hawkgirl and Shazam are the only ones that haven't been shown yet so far. So that makes sense to me. Shazam, I doubt Shazam because Shazam's way too powerful. Shazam is far too powerful for any of the other Justice League members. Like, even Shazam is like literally got an insane amount of powers from the Greek gods. So I wouldn't say that Shazam is likely to be in this. Hawkgirl definitely. I think that that's a high probability, considering that Hawkgirl was in the Justice League TV show. And Shazam, like I said, I think he's likely because he got his own movie, but I doubt that he's going to be 100% in it considering how powerful he is. And the final leak that we have is the online versus mode. Now, I briefly touched upon this, but let's go over it. Apparently, in this online mode, you get to play as the Suicide Squad members and then the Justice League members, and you're each trying to take each other down. Highly improbable. This sounds way too good to be true. There's no way. There's no way that Rocksteady went out of their way to not only create 4 characters, but an additional 4 characters, then create an extra 2 Justice League members that they haven't shown so far, that all of these characters are playable. No. It's just, I doubt it. Like I said, overall, I give this leak a 4 out of 10. It wasn't very probable. I don't think that many of these things are going to make it into the game. Sure, it does predict certain things, like it being on the newest gen of consoles, and that the basic rundown of like the mechanics. That I do agree is true, but even then, I doubt that all of these are possible. Maybe some of these are true. I don't doubt that. Like I said, I think that Deathstroke and Hawkgirl and these two in particular are most likely to be in the game, but the online versus mode, I don't know. I don't know if they go out of their way to not only make a 4 playable story campaign with all the characters, then also somehow create an online versus mode, unless they're doing an Arkham Origins multiplayer type system where they get another studio to make the online mode. But we'll just have to see. But even then, like, Gotham Knights doesn't even have an online mode. Like, it has co-op, but it doesn't have like a versus mode that you go against other people with. It's just not possible. So I heavily doubt that this is in the game. Anyway, if you want to head over to Iron Smash Web channel, go ahead. He posts some interesting stuff every now and again. So yeah, very cool. That's where I got a source of this information. So, oh well. I can't wait for the next video where I'll have nothing to talk about. Again, nice.